Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the life path reading for life path number 11. Your life path talks about your opportunity that you have in life. As an 11, you are a natural counselor. Your energy is very soothing. You are compassionate and understanding, sensitive. People consider you to be a light in the world. And so when you're with people and you're giving advice or you're offering comfort, you have like that familiar feeling. First card out is miracles. Next card, gateway. Got an extra, forgiveness. And then we have taking risks. That was kind of like our bonus. And at the bottom of the deck, we have purity. All right. And so I feel like this message is saying that you are at a threshold. You're about to cross into, a version of yourself. You're about to level up in some kind of way. But there are certain things that you have to do to prepare for what is to come. And so you will be purifying yourself, and that requires you to get rid of things from the past that no longer will serve a purpose in whatever is coming for you next, right? So Spirit is saying, as you purify, as you balance, as you cleanse, as you really prepare for what is to come and purge, the first thing to do is to forgive what has been. So when you think about forgiveness, it's really about freeing yourself from the experiences that still have a hold on you in some kind of way, right? They have a hold on you because there's an emotion attached to them, right? So it could be resentment, bitterness, pain, envy, rage, anything. But nonetheless, when we have feelings towards things that were and we hold on to them, they block and they take up space from what can be. So when you forgive, even if it doesn't make sense to. So if you have been through a situation where either you are asking for forgiveness or you are offering it to someone, Spirit says that this is some type of risk. Bottom of the deck is take time to reflect. Mirror Garden. All right, 11. So you guys have gone through something. You're on this kind of portal, right? But there are certain things and aspects of self that you have to leave behind, right? We need to ask for forgiveness or offer forgiveness to another. So this taking risks, this is really about being comfortable, being comfortable, really cooperating with others in ways that are like really vulnerable for us, right? So we have taking risks, forgiveness, and next to it we have She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. And so whatever, maybe you never knew that you could offer forgiveness to someone, people, places, or things that have scorned you in some way. But nonetheless, when we're talking about unleashing the wild, it's about not being afraid of chains, not being afraid of taking a chance. It's just about ultimate fearlessness. And this is about independence. This is about, a feeling that only you are understanding at this time. Maybe it's not something that you can share, but it's something that feels true. But you are discovering it. It's not something that you are aware of. But maybe something within you is birthing, and maybe you are even surprised, right? And maybe it's propelling you to do something or things that you didn't think you could do. On Gateway, The oracle next to gateway is air guardian, shift your perception. So maybe you're not aware that something that, and then we have this unicorn. So, there is something mystical and magical and unique taking place right now. And it may not even be clear to you about what is occurring, what is happening within you, but also soon to be around you, right? So when Spirit is saying shift your perception, it's because they want you to pick up all the small moments of what is taking place, of whatever this change is, right? Sometimes when we are face to face with life's moments, right? And we're with the people that we're going through things with, or we're showing up to the same experience every day. Sometimes it's hard to step back and to see maybe why this was necessary and what Spirit is asking us to do when we're talking about how to respond, right? So Spirit does want you to prepare for your own expansion and advancement, but also to gain a higher perspective of what is really taking place and what is required of you, right? So you've unleashed something within. You're about to cross this threshold. Spirit is asking you to see things, without attachment, without expectation, just to see things as necessary moments that were all a part of your growth in some type of way. The card miracles, next to miracles, we have hunter. Track down your fears and desires. Right? So something within you is birthed. Something that is fierce and independent and bold. And it gives you the ability to see your own life, your own mission, from a spiritual perspective. It's almost like you're tapped in. And now that you're tapped into this power that you have, you can use it to really chase down what it is you desire for yourself, right? And so by diving into the darkness, by going into the unknown, our shadow self, and understanding all the things that terrify us and really facing those things, we've conquered them within. And once we understand our fears, once we understand why, certain things are looking the way they are in our life, once we get that, then it's time to chase down our desires. And anytime we get to a moment of self-sabotage or we get to a stumbling block in creating the miracles that we want to see in our life, all we have to do is remember which fear we've already discovered that is in the way of us completing that desire. Right? So really become comfortable with the things that do scare you. About your future, about what you want, about who you are, about what you possess, about your purpose. We're talking about purity. We're talking about being your pure self, right? And so when Spirit says take time to reflect, it's in that reflection that you will be able to kind of look at yourself from above, right? Just watch what has happened so far and really decide, where do I want to go next? What is for me? What should I be doing? What do I need to know? What have I not considered? All those questions that kind of just help you decode whatever is happening within you. Use your intuition and then make a plan based on the energy and the downloads that you're getting. All right, so at the center we have the Nine of Swords, but it's in reverse. So normally when it's upright, the Nine of Swords talks about not being able to rest, having so much on our mind, just being so uncomfortable with whatever we deem our reality to be that we can't sleep. We don't have peace mentally. It's almost like feeling constantly disturbed. But the fact that this is in reverse means that you're coming out of this situation. You could be entering a period of rest after, you know, a long time of being up in your head about a situation that you just really couldn't grasp. And maybe this was a situation that was about work, what you should do for work, how you should transition from what was your old work existence to this new work existence, right? So maybe that's the gateway, a transition in how you earn an income, in how you spend your time, and how you use your craft. And so what terrified you about working in a certain way, doing a certain thing, no longer gives you fear. Now we also have the Four of Cups in reverse. So upright, this means, being so over an experience that we are not even willing to accept the possibility that although things have been pretty morbid, life, new ideas could be birthed. So that is the situation when this is upright, but this is in reverse. So this is coming out of this feeling of not being content. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups, but in reverse. Okay. So this could be, the Ace of Cups upright talks about being presented with an offer of love or receiving. Maybe you're giving it to someone's giving it to you, or just the divine is setting up a situation in life where you have emotional fulfillment, right? You are just bubbling over with joy. And so maybe you were conflicted because you didn't have this joy. You didn't have this contentment, right? You weren't feeling at love with life. And like I said, maybe this was a work situation. But now you are able to come to rest with whatever the decision is. When Spirit says shift your perception, it's possible you've already done that. And so now you really understand how you want to go forward. You are no longer questioning. You are ready to accept the possibility that you can have happiness, that you can do what you love and make a living and take care of yourself and support yourself. Now, beneath the Nine of Swords, we have the Ace of Swords. So this is when you receive truth and clarity about something that you did not know, something that was hidden from you. So beneath the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Wands, and this is about being stressed. And so maybe you were working in a stressful work environment. Maybe you were just working on, if this is about love, maybe you were working on what you thought was an opportunity to be in love or practice love with someone or something, but it really became burdensome. It felt like you were carrying too much. And so when you're up in your head and you're not able to sleep, you realize that, you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere in this situation because there are secrets, there are things hidden from you, there are things you don't know, and those things are losing you from sleep. But then here comes Spirit. They offer you truth and clarity. They bring you something that puts your mind at ease about this situation, right? And so this truth, this thing that gives you peace of mind reveals to you three things. Taking risks is necessary, whether it's on yourself, on your passion, or on whatever it is that you love and desire to do. Forgiveness is important. Because as we move forward, we don't want to carry burdens from the past. So when we're looking at this 10, we can't move into the desires of our heart if our heart is blocked by stresses and just experiences that we've gone through that have wounded us in some kind of way. So we have to forgive. We have to release these wands. And then that's when we get to birth who we are. That is when we get to really show up to this new energy available to us. The extra card we had come out was the Magician. And so I feel like this is you really understanding all the power and the potential that you have. But it's almost like you're reflecting on it now. Maybe you haven't begun to use it. Maybe you're at the beginning of really tapping into making this change in your life. But nonetheless, this is about you becoming, your own, being able to co-create in your life and with your life. Above this 9 of swords in reverse is the devil. So this was something toxic. This could have been, realizing, spirit came in and revealed to you that the devil was at play in a situation, right? So if you had been stressed out, working on a relationship, upset, feeling lost, feeling like you're alone, you've been abandoned, and this offer was never genuinely available to you. It was never a genuine offer of love. It never had the potential of being anything beautiful or long lasting, because it was toxic, because there were secrets, right? And maybe if it wasn't for the intervention of spirit, then you wouldn't have understood about what was really happening here. And so once you face and track down your fears and really establish what it is you desire in relationships and in love specifically, once you figure out what you're terrified of, you'll stop accepting, less than. Once you can really see the desire, see yourself in love in that relationship that you want, once you can see it in your mind, well, then you can begin to live it out and bring it to you, right? But it's really about being in these situations that make us terribly uncomfortable. They probably trigger abandonment issues. We're not always able to pick ourselves up right away and really see what's happening. But sometimes what we don't know is when things don't work out for us, that can be a miracle. The fact that something scared us, or the fact that something, it just didn't progress, sometimes that is the blessing. That this cup should have been spilt out because something in it was poisonous, right? It had a hold, a control, whether that be addiction or behavior or just, personality traits that were abusive, just whatever this connection represents. And this connection could have taken place anywhere, right? But nonetheless, it's something that you were working on, even pushing through your stress, thinking that you could take this thing farther. But that was never really appearing to be in the cards. So this was about more you diving into your shadow self. That was the purpose of this connection. And now that you've gone in and you've seen all the darkness, now that this relationship has really dug up all things within you, and now that you're willing to reflect and to purge and to just free yourself of experiences that have been similar to this, now you have lightened your load. Now you can manifest. Now you can create. And you do have to forgive yourself for maybe staying in places for too long and not really listening to your intuition, not wanting to see what truth was. But then you also have to continue to take risks. So don't ever lose that fire to try, because you've carried so much fear about failure that you don't want to try anymore. So continue to take risks, but in order to be able to take those risks freely and in a very healthy way, it's important to apply forgiveness to self, but also to others and experiences that came before whatever the new is, this new that Spirit is offering you. All right, 11s, I hope something in there was beneficial. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care.